ZO 2.17. AM local time, central Iran, approximately 45 kilometers southeast of Isfahan. The desert is completely still, visibility stretching beyond 9 kilometers, and for a brief moment, there's nothing but silence, until the sound of incoming aircraft cuts through the night. 2 U.S. Air Force C-130 transport planes descend rapidly, flying below 1,000 meters to avoid radar exposure, while 2 UH-60 Black Hawk helicopters trail behind them, maintaining low altitude and tight formation. This is not a patrol, and it is not reconnaissance. This is a covert insertion mission deep inside hostile territory. Within less than 2 minutes of entering the airspace, Iranian radar systems lock onto all 4 aircraft. But what's critical here is not detection. It's timing. There is no early interception attempt, no scrambling of air defense at the last second, which strongly suggests something far more dangerous. The defenders were already waiting. At 2:21 a.m., the first missile was launched from approximately 8 kilometers away. It is a short-range, surface-to-air missile designed specifically for fast-moving, low-altitude targets. Within seconds, it strikes the lead C-130 mid-descent, igniting the left wing and forcing the aircraft into an uncontrollable crash roughly 1.7 kilometers short of its intended landing zone. On board were an estimated 20 to 25 personnel. Moments later, a second missile locks onto one of the Black Hawk helicopters. This time, the impact is even more precise, hitting the rear rotor assembly and instantly destabilizing the aircraft. The helicopter spins violently before crashing into the desert floor within 40 seconds. There are no confirmed survivors from that aircraft. By 2:23 a.m., the situation had completely collapsed. The second C-130 attempts to climb and escape, but the response comes too quickly. A third missile strikes the fuselage, breaking the aircraft apart mid-air and scattering debris across a wide radius. The final Black Hawk attempts emergency extraction, but now the ambush has escalated beyond missile strikes. Ground-based anti-aircraft fire begins, coordinated and sustained, hitting the helicopter multiple times before it is forced into a hard landing and subsequently overrun. From first contact to final destruction, the entire engagement lasts under 5 minutes, 4 aircraft destroyed. Between 60 and 85 personnel were involved. Estimated casualties range from 45 to 70 killed. Now, beyond the numbers, there's one story that reflects what actually happened on the ground. Staff Sergeant Daniel Reeves, 34 years old, with 12 years of service, including deployments in Iraq and Afghanistan, was on board the second C-130. According to fragmented reports, he survived the initial missile impact and was seen assisting injured personnel attempting to organize evacuation under extreme conditions. However, approximately 90 seconds after the crash, secondary explosions engulfed the wreckage. He never made it out. This is where the analysis becomes critical. Operations like this are not improvised. They involve weeks of intelligence gathering, satellite monitoring, secure communication channels, and strict operational secrecy. For an ambush of this precision to occur, 3 conditions must have been met simultaneously. The location had to be known in advance, the timing had to be predicted within minutes, and defensive systems had to be pre-positioned and ready. That combination does not happen by chance. It strongly indicates that the operation was compromised before execution, either through intercepted communications, internal leaks, or intelligence sharing with external actors. In other words, the attacking force did not walk into a random defense. It walked into a prepared kill zone. Now consider the objective. The landing zone was not near a civilian structure or conventional military base. It was within operational proximity of sensitive nuclear infrastructure, which suggests that this mission was not about extraction, but insertion, likely involving either sabotage, retrieval, or direct interference with nuclear material. And this is where the cost imbalance becomes impossible to ignore. Iran's defensive response relied on an estimated 6 to 8 missiles, each costing between $80,000 and $150,000. Even at the higher end, the total cost of the ambush remains under $1 million. On the other hand, the losses are substantial. 2 C-130 aircraft at approximately $30 million each, and 2 Black Hawks at around $21 million each, bring total equipment losses to roughly $102 million. When you factor in personnel training costs, which range from $150,000 to $500,000 per soldier, depending on specialization, the total operational loss climbs to somewhere between $111 million and $132 million. This creates a cost ratio of nearly 100 to 1, but the financial loss is only part of the picture. The strategic implications are far more significant. This event demonstrates that Iranian defense systems are capable not only of detecting, but also predicting and neutralizing high-value operations in real time. That changes how future missions must be planned, increasing the need for larger force packages, additional air defense suppression, and significantly higher operational costs. And then there's the part that raises the most questions. If this operation was successful, where is the evidence of objective completion? Where are the confirmations of recovered assets or secured targets? Why is the narrative limited to controlled statements without operational detail? Because when you examine the sequence of events, the outcome becomes clear. The mission did not achieve its objective. It was intercepted, contained, and destroyed before it could even begin execution on the ground. And once you understand that, the entire narrative shifts. This was not a clean operation. It was a failed high-risk incursion with measurable losses, both human and strategic. The story they are telling is about a controlled and limited military action. The story I just told you is about a compromised mission that turned into a 5-minute ambush with over $100 million in losses and dozens of lives gone. If you want analysis that goes beyond surface-level reporting and actually breaks down what happens in operations like this, subscribe to the channel, because this is where the real details come out.